Singapore is suing a woman for $2.3 million after she did the terrible, terrible thing of friend zoning him. Apparently he wants to collect damages for that.
Oh, kid.
This is a real story. This is a real story and this is a real thing. Now he had tried to sue her previously and that was thrown out. They're like, what are you doing, bro? But he was persistent and now he is seeking a lot more in damages. Now the man, identified as drone racing executive Kay Kaushigan in legal documents, alleged in a defamation lawsuit set to be heard in Singapore's high court this week, that the woman's rejection caused him, quote, sustained trauma and reductions in his earning capacity.
Well, all right, wait a minute. Then, like, is your salary going to be reduced according to this guy's logic if a hotter woman rejects you? Because then, like, if you were seen with her, your salary. So can you get more money if you just ask out like the hottest woman you could find, and she says no, and you go, okay, now I'm suing for 4 million instead of 2 million.
This is crazy. This is so crazy. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, a separate case filed by him in Singapore's magistrate court was struck down last month for abuse of process, and he was ordered to pay the woman's legal fees as a result, but he didn't give up. In the suit, he had sought nearly $17,000, alleging that the woman had breached an offer she made that included offering room for him to share inspiration, struggle, and achievements, and meeting up based on mutual availability beyond coffee setting. What is this? Did you sign a contract with this woman? Sounds sexy.
Okay.
Wow, I wonder why a woman wouldn't want to be with you.
Yeah, there's only a couple of possibilities here. First of all, let's note that there are no drone racing executives.
Yeah, what is that?
Okay, so that means that this guy is either a scam artist, right? Fairly high likelihood of that one. Or he's already rich and he just races drones with his other rich buddies and calls himself a drone racing executive and has money to burn by going to court and losing over and over again. That's another one that's very likely. Okay, there are other possibilities. He's mentally ill, right? Because who says stuff like this?
I mean,
yeah.
Let me give you some more of the backstory.
Okay, there's one other possibility which I'll get to in a minute. And plus, my aunt, believe it or not, like 100 years ago, had an incredibly similar story. What? I'll explain that in a minute.
So he first met the woman in a social setting back in 2016. Over time, their friendship developed, but problems began to also develop back in September of 2020 when they began to see their relationship differently. Like they had different perspectives on their relationship, right? He wanted more, whereas she saw him as a friend. So he saw her as his closest friend and wanted a romantic relationship, but she's like, no, you're my friend, right? Now she asked to see Kaushigan less frequently, which upset him. He said such action would be taking a step back in their relationship. She in turn said that they needed to set boundaries, urging him to be self-reliant. Kaushigan, according to the ruling, did not react well to this, clearly. So then he sent the woman a letter in October of 2020 threatening legal action. So hot, so hot. How is he single? I don't get it. Threatening legal action. Legal action for damages stemming from emotional distress and possible defamation. She told him that she was genuinely uncomfortable. He threatened that if she did not comply with his demand, she would face damages to her personal and professional endeavors. Wow, so he's also threatening her for not wanting to be in a romantic relationship with him. But this is the part that blows my mind. Ladies, don't do this. This is a bad idea. She agreed to participate in counseling sessions with him to keep the legal threats at bay.
I know, I'm sure she was under duress and she's thinking, how do I get rid of this guy, right? And she went and do that, but you're only encouraging him. The guy's definitely got issues. I'm not a doctor, I don't know what the issues are. The fourth possibility was that he just wants to get famous. But the more you read the details of the lawsuit, the more you think, nah, this guy's touched. And look, there's some folks you run into.
Or maybe just entitled, Cenk. I don't know why you're like needlessly providing cover by saying like he might have mental health issues. The guy's.
No. I'm not gonna weigh in on whether it's clinical or whatever. I'm just saying at a minimum, he's nuclear level awkward, okay? And unfortunately, a lot of those guys are super toxic, right? They get into your life in any way, and then that's it. You can't get them out. They're like, okay, I want you to come to counseling with me. Why? We weren't even going out.
This is so crazy.
This is nuts, right? No, I'm entitled to your life. I'm entitled to your attention. I'm entitled to a relationship with you. No, you're not, you weirdo. Get out of my goddamn life.
They went to counseling for a year and a half, and finally she's like, why am I doing this? This is stupid.
Crazy.
This is useless. I don't want to do this anymore. So she stopped agreeing to the counseling sessions. She then obtained a restraining order against him, and that's when he filed the lawsuit against her for defamation and negligent conduct. Now get a load of this. He said that she damaged his stellar reputation. Who is this, Trump? Is this Trump?
She damaged his reputation by not going out with his psycho ass?
You're damaging your reputation by being persistent in pursuing legal, legally pursuing her like this, through legal means.
No. This is guys, the court system has to somehow make an example out of this guy and not let him get away with this stuff, because that really screws up her life. She's got to hire lawyers. It's a lot of expense. She's got to go through tons of depositions and nonsense. This is unbelievable nuisance. You can tell from the law school, it's mental. Totally and utterly mental to say, oh, you owe me a relationship. Based on what, you psycho? Okay, and you know who's damaging your reputation? You are, by filing lawsuits like this. Who the hell in their right mind would come within a 4-mile perimeter of this guy? Because the minute you accidentally say hi to him, he thinks you owe him the world. And he's gonna sue you if you don't give him everything, including all of your time. Are you insane? So I don't know what he's got. And by the way, it could really be as simple as he's super rich, and so he grew up in a world where he feels entitled to everything. And if he genuinely thinks, if you don't give me exactly what I want, well, I've been aggrieved, so I get to sue you, right? Given that he put drone racing executive, that's really high on the list of possibilities here. These are all my opinions. Do I know for sure? No, of course not. Do we know what's in the lawsuit? Yes. Can I say to you that my opinion is the lawsuit is one of the craziest lawsuits I've ever seen? Yes. Can I tell you that if I ever ran into this guy, I would never even talk to him for 1 single second, because I know that he's gonna glom on and feel like he's entitled to your whole goddamn life? Oh, these guys are like, anyway.
Women are going to run away from this guy because of what he is doing here.
Of course, it's the lawsuit, you idiot. It's the lawsuit. It's not the poor woman that you're terrorizing. Okay, so anyways, it sounds like a funny story because this guy thinks that he's entitled not to be friend zoned, right? But for that woman, this is an epic disaster.
It is, of course. She's going through hell, and she's been going through hell for several years now. And the fact that, the country's highest court didn't just nix this and say, no, we're not even gonna entertain this case is really depressing.
I don't know what the laws are in that jurisdiction, but I wish there was a law that said frivolous lawsuit, you owe her $2.3 million.
Yeah, well, that happened in the initial lawsuit, right? The one where he's tried suing her for $17,000. But he was undeterred, and he pursued this to all the way to the country's highest court.
Yeah, loser. Okay, so I'll tell you my aunt's story. So back in the day, this is my great aunt. This is my grandfather's sister. People would propose, and then your dad would agree to it. It was arranged marriages, pretty much 100% in my grandparents' generation. So back in southeastern Turkey, but it wasn't like you couldn't compel anyone. It was just culture and custom, and no one ever said no, except my great aunt is from my family, and my family, as you can tell from this show, we got strong opinions, okay, and we don't think we need to necessarily follow custom or tradition if it doesn't make any sense. So all the way back then, about 100 years ago, she's like, no, I don't want to get married to that guy. And everybody was like, wait, what do you mean, Sabiha? What do you mean you don't want to get married to that guy? That's not a thing, right? She's like, it's a thing now, because I'm not getting married to that guy. And remember back then there was huge differences in age. He was much older, etc. and they looked more for connections than they, family connections, wealth, etc., than anything the woman wanted for sure. And so then the guy sued her in southeastern Turkey 100 years ago, right?
Crazy.
And said, no, you were owed me in marriage. Your dad said that I could marry you, so you have to marry me. And you know how she won the case? So the whole town goes to court. This is an amazing story, right? Because it never happens. And they put her on the witness stand. Mistake. Okay, she says at one point, look at him. Would you marry him?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Hero.
Okay, total hero. And eventually the judge goes, not guilty.
No, it's amazing. The judge is like, I wouldn't marry him.
Yeah.
Case closed.
Yeah, she's like, she said about how he's got bad breath.
Oh.
Okay,
Think about how many women though didn't feel like they could challenge what their family wanted of them.
Of course.
And just went along with it. And ended up marrying some dude that they had no interest in marrying, some dude who might have even repulsed them. Good for her for because look, that move is what changes culture in a good direction.
100%.
Right? Because it gives other women permission and an inspiration to say, no, you're not gonna arrange a marriage on my behalf where I'm with a dude who's like twice my age and I'm not attracted to.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, so whatever happened to my aunt? She lived to be 100 years old. Everyone who knew her loved her. She got married to a wonderfully decent man many, many years later and had a great life.
And he had great breath.
There you go. So that's why I love strong women. Strong women run in my family and they taught me by example. You stand up for yourself, okay? It doesn't matter what the situation is. Nobody's got a right to push you around. And if somebody does, you push back. So I don't know, this one felt visceral and personal to me. Like, fight back against this guy and make sure you win and be a lesson to all these guys who feel like they're entitled to your life, to your body, to your time, to your relationship. You're not entitled to any of that. You have to earn it by being a decent person.